We had activities in Western Uganda, in Fort Portal, Southwestern Uganda, and Mbarara. We also had activities here within the central region in Wakiso. So those activities marked the pre-event activities. And I must say that they were very, very engaging. We engaged the stakeholders on the ground, the common people, the communities, the civil society, the religious institutions, the cultural institutions, all the stakeholders on the ground were engaged. All of these culminated into the long week we have been having, which is coming to an end today. We had an opening ceremony on Monday, 18th March, which was streamed live on UBC and NBS, and of course also on social media platforms and Zoom. And we had a lot of participation from within and outside the country. We had keynote presentations and dialogues. We had 5 keynote presentations that were followed by dialogues on the main theme, which is rethinking collective action and innovative solutions to water, environment, and climate change. We had 4 sub-themes where we also had keynote presentations and dialogues, and the last one was today, where we're looking at how to improve people's resilience to impacts of climate change. Overall, we had 36 keynote speakers and panelists, and a number of them were from within Uganda, but we had others that were from outside the country who attended physically and some attended online. So the engagement was really intense, and we are happy that we were able to have all of these keynote speakers present with us. So we also had parallel sessions. We had short training courses. We had 6 training courses. We had paper presentation. We had people who submitted abstracts on technical presentations, on policy, practice, and scientific papers. Overall, we had 115 people making presentations, as either formal paper presentations or posters. And again, these were either scientific, policy, and practice presentations. And again, we are happy to thank the team from Makerere University that has coordinated this activity, that has evaluated the abstracts, have trained people on how to prepare abstracts and how to make PowerPoint presentation. And the capacity being built is capacity that will enable Uganda is actually to engage even internationally. But also had side events where different organizations held different activities, some of them project launches, others meetings. We also had youth mentorship programs. We had a career talk. We have also had youth debates. And the youth debates competition have ended today, and later on we'll be getting the winners and awarding them. But we have had youth debates all over the country. Universities have engaged in debates, secondary schools and primary schools, and the winners came to Kampala today to compete, and we'll be getting the winners who will be awarded. Side events were organized by different organizations. Again, we are happy that they came forward. A number of them are from outside Uganda. They have come to present their different activities and projects, and for us, we are happy with these engagements. We had field visits, 2 field visits. One was to National Water Treatment Center for people to see how water and wastewater are being treated. Also had a field visit on to see how waste is being turned into profits, people making businesses out of that. We had a career talk where young people were taken through how to develop their career, how to select careers. It was very interesting. We have been mentoring young ladies and gentlemen, 105 from within the ministry, 60 ladies and 45 men, and yesterday they graduated, and we were privileged to have the head of civil service presiding over the graduation of mentors who are helping our young people to grow. As of now, these are staff of the Ministry of Water and Environment in the area career, but we want to extend this program to other sector stakeholders outside the ministry so that we can mentor them and enable them to grow professionally. And they have been taken through technical and leadership sessions, and they are well placed, and a number of them are already showing very good promise. Outside here, your guest of honor, we have seen exhibitions. We have had 44 organizations exhibiting. Again, showcasing different technologies, innovations, and again, we are happy to host them. In terms of participation, We have a number of people who have participated physically and others online. We're estimating that we have had 2,400 participants attending the different sessions. Again, we have been having parallel sessions running. In general, we have had really, really good participation, a lot of sharing, a lot of engagement, and a lot of learning across the board. I'm trying to see how technology responds. Okay, so what was the theme? The theme was rethinking collective action and innovative solutions to water, environment, and climate change crisis. This theme was calling upon all of us to rethink the way we are doing things, that we cannot continue doing things business as usual. If we have not made substantial progress, we need to rethink and change and improve areas where we are doing well, drop those areas where we are not doing well, but innovate. We feel that we need to innovate if we have to move. So the theme was really challenging the status quo, and these are the discussions we have had, and I will present some of the key messages that have come out of these engagements. But we discussed the overall theme under 4 sub-themes. We had a sub-theme on sustainable access and utilization of water and environment resources for economic development. We had a sub-theme on nature-based solutions, solve water, environment, and climate change crisis. We had a sub-theme on resilient built environment and infrastructure in urban areas, and a sub-theme on protecting lives, livelihoods, and property, support community resilience and stability. So all the discussions have revolved around the theme and the sub-theme. But what are the key messages that have come out of this week? Again, these are preliminary messages. We continue to internalize all the reports, but we have been able to pick out some key messages out of our engagements. Number 1, on collective action. Again, one of the issues we have been trying to make sure that everybody comes on board and contributes. But what has come out of this discussion is that we need to have mindset change to address our attitudes and practices. That if we don't change our mindset, then we will not make progress. We need to work together, but we need to be open to working together, avoid working in our silos, realize that we are stronger working together. So mindset change is something we agreed we need to work on, but also recognizing that the current vertical solutions can address the problems we are faced with. We go in our silos, we want to solve problems alone, and yet if we work with others, we can actually do better. The other issue that has come out under collective action is that the current and future water and environment security challenges revolve around hunger, rising temperature, poverty, exclusion, uncertainty, data and information. We need joint actions to address these issues. That we cannot look at water, environment, resources without looking at how they are going to impact community, address hunger, ensure that to address poverty, bring about change in the way we are doing things. The other message that came out is that we need to love Mother Earth. That if we love Mother Earth, we'll protect it. And this should be the basis for how we manage water and environment resources. We are compelled as individuals to take action at our household level, at individual level, but we are also challenged to take action jointly. That if we can start as individuals, we start at our households, then collectively we create a force that will make a difference. And obviously, the idea is that if we love Mother Earth, we'll protect it, we'll plant trees, we'll restore the ecosystems, we'll ensure that the resources we have are managed for the present and future generation. We need to expand financing for water and environment sector to accommodate other sources, innovative financing sources. For example, banks were identified, insurance products and services. The idea behind this is that we cannot continue depending on traditional funding sources. Government already is struggling with many demands. We need to innovate, but we need to go outside the box and see where we can get resources. We are talking about climate financing, but we're also talking about working with the private sector. but also using the resources we have efficiently so that we do more with the resources we have rather than every time looking for new money, but also do more with the water and environment resources we have so that they can serve more people than we have been doing. The urban settings are facing high and accounted for water. Again, it was noted that we are losing as much as 40% of water, that if we can reduce the amount of water we are losing to maybe less than 20%, it means water supply coverage can increase. Using the same water and using the same money, and thereby reducing the burden on the government to look for more money. So we need, of course, also to remember that there's a lot of contamination of water sources from rapid and unplanned urbanization. It was noted, again, something that kept on coming up in our discussions, that we have good policies as Uganda, but policy execution remains a challenge. That we need to prepare corrective action and address the crisis by scaling up, that we cannot continue working at the scale we are working on and we expect different results. So policies are there, but we need to scale up execution. The other issue is on partnerships, that we need to expand partnerships beyond the usual stakeholders. We challenged again as to whether we might be speaking to ourselves, that do we have all the stakeholders with us? So we are challenged to go beyond the traditional stakeholders. And the guest of honor for this Uganda Water and Environment Week, we have made an effort. We have had extensive engagement of the young people, and many of them are out within this room, and we do hope that they will move forward. We have engaged stakeholders from within and outside the country, and we hope that we will continue. But this issue still remains for us to address so that we can ensure that we have a multi-pronged approach to delivery of services. We also noted that we need to look at recognize the natural resource value, that water and environment resources are not given their rightful value, that we take water and environment resources for granted, that we need to give them value and see how they are contributing to the socio-economic development of this country and allocate financial resources to enable us to manage and develop them sustainably. It was also noted that sometimes Uganda takes on innovation, takes on technologies without evaluating them. So we're told we're discussing and agreeing that we need to stop being a test and dumping ground for obsolete and pilot for new technologies without regard to the context and value for money. That we should evaluate and not accept anything, and we act as a dumping ground. On innovative solutions, that access and utilization of water and environment resources should define for whom. We shouldn't just provide these resources without looking at whom are we targeting, for what purpose, and under what circumstances. That oftentimes we provide services and the services don't create impact. That an integrated program approach is necessary so that we can look at development holistically, we look at development, but also we look at protection of the resource, because we know that this resource can actually get finished. So the idea of reusing what we have and also ensuring that we take advantage of what we have to serve more people so that we can save government more money rather than every time looking for new money for any new investments we want to take. The issue of lamenting, and I think it was noted that Ugandans are good at lamenting. And when you lament, of course, then you stop at that. So this meeting recommended that we stop lamenting about water, environment, and climate change crisis, that we should turn this crisis into opportunities. If, for example, there's too much water, how do we harvest it so that it becomes an opportunity? Climate change maybe has increased water availability, rainfall, we have too much water, how do we take advantage of that? So we are challenged to stop lamenting, but to look at opportunities even within these challenges. The issue of circular economy in a climate resilient world was noted that we need to look at the resource efficiency and ensure that we limit wastage of the resources we have. Nature-based solutions have been seen as key in our investment programs, that we need to ensure that nature actually coexists with our development aspirations. Religious and cultural institutions are key in bringing action on the ground, and again we're challenged by one bishop who indicated to us that they have infrastructure, that if we work with them, they can reach the common person at no cost. So we're challenged to work with them, use their media so that we can reach the people on the ground. The issue of indigenous knowledge to be balanced with new knowledge. Digital technology was noted as being key in improving the way we manage collected data, information, and engage. That we need to professionalize the sector through capacity development innovations. Like we need to ensure that we build the capacity of the people, and issues like mentorship, early career professionals program, and the retired professional scheme were noted as innovative ideas to ensure that we continuously innovate in capacity building. So what are the key recommendations? So number one is we need to resolve the impediments and in adopting the water environment and economic development nexus, that we need to avoid the silo planning and implementation. That water, environment are linked to food security, to energy security, to health, to education, that we need to ensure that we partner with others so that we get out of our silos and work with them. Again, we should translate policy execution into measurable actions, that our actions should be measured so that we get value we ensure that we quantify the value of water and environment resources and how they are driving socioeconomic development, expand private sector financing. We feel that this is the way to go because government resources are limited, but also looking at the private sector within the whole framework of innovative financing, that we need to invest in reducing, recycling, and reuse of wastewater, including wastewater and solid waste, that the waste can be turned into products, but also we can use wastewater to actually even improve agricultural production. So recycling, so that we can use the resources we have many times to give us many benefits. Proven nature-based solutions should be documented. Again, we are having nature-based solutions, but we haven't documented them enough, and we need also to scale them up to various parts of the country. We need strengthen our partnerships with religious and cultural institutions. We're already doing this, but we are challenged to expand so that we can cover the whole country, so that you can promote local action and address mindset change. It was felt that the religious and cultural institutions can help us actually to address the challenges of mindset change. That we need to improve existing digital infrastructure with our own local solutions. While there is digital technology, we need to actually localize it. Should be expanded. And of course, we have practical training and relevant programs that are linked to technology. Community resilience starts and ends with the communities. Today, the idea was that let's not forget that whatever we are doing, we are serving the communities. That whatever we do, we should have the communities at the heart of what we are doing. So we need to invest in community structures and interventions at the grassroots level. And every program that we do should be done with and for the communities. We need to prioritize early warning actions and systems so that we are able to actually take action early before disasters strike. Humanitarian response needs to build resilience actions to enable communities to withstand environment shocks and stress. That urban planning and management should redress rapid and planned urbanization, that we're having a lot of unplanned urbanization, and of course this is affecting the way we deliver services. And green belts should be looked into, and we should have intentional planning for these green belts and gazette areas. A big discussion was made around, for example, the current heat wave and whether we are prepared. For example, in Kampala, we have very limited green belts. So again, we need to give special attention to this, and the idea of having, for example, golf courses, leisure parks, green spaces should be given attention in our various cities and municipalities. So with those, I summarize what has come out of the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week, and as I've said, we will continue sensitizing these issues, and we shall be issuing outcome document with action areas by the different stakeholders so that we can move forward. We have, can you put the logos? We want to thank your guest of honor. If you see that slide there, it is quite compact. and it indicates the number of stakeholders that have been part of this 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week. There are over 80 stakeholders, and on this note, I would like to request that we give them a big applause. The Uganda Water and Environment Week wouldn't have actually happened without all these stakeholders. The stakeholders, some have been financial partners, others technical partners, but others have worked with us to make sure that we have a very good program. Some are within the country, others are from outside the country, and on behalf of the National Organizing Committee, I want to thank you wholeheartedly for the support. But I would also like to end by thanking the National Organizing Committee. Can I request those who are in here, I know many are outside, can I request those who are in here, the members of the National Organizing Committee? We had over 200 people planning for the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week. Please stand up so that the guest of honor can at least see some faces here. So, our guest of honor, we have had engagement with all kinds of stakeholders. So this is just a small number, many are outside working. But as we mentioned, we have had people who have walked 518 kilometers. And the Workers' Association, Mr. Geoffrey Ayeni, I don't know whether you have the other members. So, guest of honor, that gentleman, Geoffrey Ayeni, and his team walk every year for water, environment, and climate change. This year, they walked 518 kilometers on foot. They have not even dodged around to take a car or what. And they have done us proud, and along the way, they have been raising awareness among the stakeholders. With those, I want to thank you once again and wish you all the best. Over to you, the moderator. Thank you. Maybe before you come in, we had just documented a short video. I don't know whether it is ready. Just highlight a few issues that have happened. Is it ready? Okay, when it is ready, we will play it. Thank you very much.
Give Dr. Kalist another round of applause for bringing us to speed on what has been happening here in the last 5 days. And I think they have done great work. Thank you so much. Our guest of honor, may I also let you know that in this auditorium, we have a former Vice President of Uganda, who's also Senior Presidential Advisor on Environment and Sanitation. We recognize you, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Our guest of honor, we have members of Parliament, we have Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, we have UNDP resident representative, we have head of office of Austrian Development Corporation and the team from ADA. Of course, we have the permanent secretary, Minister of Water and Environment with us. We have the development partners. We have executive directors and directors in the Ministry of Water and Environment. We have private sector and civil society organizations. We have representatives of the key stakeholders. Of course, we have government officials, and we have Ministry of Water and Environment staff. And I thought I should just let you know, sir, the people who are with us this evening. At this juncture, allow me to invite one at a time speeches on the themes for World Water Day. We shall have the International Forest Day and World Meteorological Day. So we have 3 people to speak to us. Each one of them has about 5 minutes to speak to us. And we're going to begin with the Director, DWD, Joseph Ebitu. And after that, we shall have the ED in NFA. And also, we shall have later the ED UNMA. So may I now call upon Joseph to step forward and speak to us. Let us welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you very much, moderator. Just a small correction. I'm not the director, DWD. My name is Joseph Epitu, Commissioner, Water and Environment Sector Liaison in the Ministry of Water and Environment, but I'm standing in for the Acting Director, Directorate of Water Development, who is not able to be with us this afternoon. I will I'll read the speech on the World Water. First of all, I'd like to recognize our chief guest, the Right Honorable Third Deputy Prime Minister, represented by the Government Chief Whip. We'd also like to recognize our former Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, and now the Senior Presidential Advisor on Environment and Sanitation. In absentia, I would like to recognize the Minister of Water and Environment, members of Parliament present, representatives of the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the PS, Minister of Water and Environment, our development partners, executive directors of the various agencies under the Ministry of Water and Environment, representatives from the private sector and civil society, and also other key stakeholders, government officials in your various capacities, my own colleagues from the Ministry of Water and Environment, ladies and gentlemen, protocol observed. As has already been stated, today, 22nd March, is World Water Day, and it's being celebrated under the theme, Water for Peace. Ever since we started hosting the Water Week, we agreed in principle that we shall also concurrently celebrate the three World Days. So today, the whole world is encouraged to use this occasion to highlight the role water plays in maintaining peace and stability. Ladies and gentlemen, demand for water in Uganda is increasing rapidly due to rapid population growth. Also, we have an increase in economic growth, increased industrialization, and climate change, among others. Water is needed for both consumptive and productive uses, and these uses have exerted a lot of pressure on available water resources in the country. Considering that Uganda's water resources are transboundary and shared with other 10 countries in the Nile Basin, there is decreasing transboundary water inflows brought about by overutilization of water by upstream users, environmental degradation, and impacts of climate change. Achieving water for peace, which is the theme for today's celebration, relies on far greater cooperation. Today, 153 countries in the world share water resources, yet only 24 have reported cooperation agreements for all their shared water. We must accelerate efforts to work together across borders and join and implement the United Nations Water Convention, which promotes managing shared water resources sustainably. Ladies and gentlemen, conflicts are raging, pollution and biodiversity loss are rampant, and the climate crisis is accelerating with serious implications, further threatening peace. Action for water is therefore action for peace, and it's needed more than ever before. Addressing the above challenges, ladies and gentlemen, requires cross-border and cross-sectoral coordination and collaboration amongst the basin states and water-related sectors and other water-related organizations within and outside the country. Uganda is making progress in ensuring cross-sectoral coordination and collaboration amongst the basin states and water-related sectors and international organizations and research-related institutions. The country is also implementing integrated water resources management, and the degree of its implementation currently stands at 59%, while the proportion of transboundary basin area with an operational arrangement for water cooperation level stands at 84%. Uganda is committed to the Water Action Agenda and has resolved to accede to the UN Convention on the Law of the Non-Navigational Uses of International Water Courses and the Convention on the Protection and Use of Transboundary Water Courses, and also International Lakes Convention as a means of promoting transboundary water cooperation. Cooperating to safeguard water can be a tool of sustaining peace. Water stewardship can strengthen collaboration and cooperation between communities and build resilience to climate-related disasters. It can also drive progress towards Sustainable Development Goals, which are the foundation of peaceful societies, including by improving health, reducing poverty and inequality, and boosting food and water security. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, we are called upon to work together to make water a tool for cooperation, harmony, and stability, and so help to create a world of peace and prosperity for all. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the statement on our 22nd March World Water Day celebrations today. I would like to submit, and I say all this for God and my country. Thank you.
Give Joseph another round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. And may I now, at this juncture, invite Mr. Tom Rukundo, representing NFA, also to speak to us. You have your 5 minutes, sir. Let's warmly welcome him. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The chief guest, who is represented by the Chief Whip, the former Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Honorable Minister of Water and Environment, the Honorable Minister of State for Environment, Honorable Minister of State for Water, Honorable Members of Parliament present, the Permanent Secretary, Your Excellencies, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want first of all to take this opportunity on behalf of NFA to congratulate our ministers for their appointment in the ministry, as this shows the contribution to the sector and the trust His Excellency has put in here. I also want to take this to thank and congratulate the Ministry of Water and Environment and all partners for accomplishing the 7th Water and Environment Week. On the 21st March, the world celebrated the International Day of Forests and the theme Forests and Innovation. This year's celebration is unique as it comes at a time when the globe is experiencing heat waves in many places and Uganda is not spared. As a country, we therefore need to devise and showcase new approaches, new technologies, new methodologies in line with the theme for sustainable forests management and contribute to mitigate the rising global temperatures. Uganda forest sector has over time transformed forest management through use of technology. This has enabled NFA to monitor, track, report on forests and other land use changes happening in the country after every 2 years. As we celebrate this day, the government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Water and Environment, with partners, is implementing an initiative to grow 200 million trees through running out of trees roots campaign. In 5 years, under the National Development Plan 3, 2020-2025. Through partnership arrangement, the National Forest Authority is engaging development partners, the private sector, and stakeholders to restore degraded forest reserves. Annual supply over 10 million free tree seedlings to communities, avail quality commercial seedlings to tree farmers, and extend tree nursery services to 35 major towns. Reopened, marketed, and digitized over 4,000 kilometers of forestry boundary line. NFA has also established and is maintaining about 14,000 hectares of commercial forest plantations, promoting collaborative forest management, where communities adjacent to central forest reserves are engaged in the protection of the forests and in return benefit from the forest activities such as apiary and access to non-timber forest resources. Through innovation and advanced technologies, NFA is using systems such as the National Resource Information Systems to monitor deforestation throughout the country. National Resource Information Systems is a collaborative real-time data mapping system designed to monitor changes in forests and wetland cover, track the impacts and initiatives relating to deforestation and wetlands restoration, and provide a data source for future initiatives. The ArcGIS helps us collect near real-time data on forests, which support planning and decision-making. NFA continues to face some challenges affecting sustainable forestry management, including land grabbing. Land grabbing by creation of titles in some forest reserves. Pressure on forest resources from other economic activities like agriculture, urbanization, and mining leading to deforestation. The pressure on urban and peri-urban forests for source resources such as timber, fuel wood, and land has greatly increased. An example is Mabila, which is surrounded by fast-growing urban areas. As we celebrate International Day of Forests, I want to remind all of us to embrace the new and innovative ways of forest management. We need to incorporate increasing human population, increasing demand for forest products, and need to transform the adjacent forest communities and mindset change in modern forest management planning. It is also important that we jealously conserve the remaining forest cover and promote growing of trees to secure our future and the generation to come. I thank you very much for God and my country.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause to Julius Rukundo. You know, when he said some Ugandans, our chief guest, are creating land titles in forest reserves, I could not fail not to note that. How would you get a land title in a forest reserve? That means there should be another government agency which is creating a land title. It must be very complicated for you. I wonder how you can deal with that. But this is where we are, Mr. Chief, our guest of honor, and the forest cover no wonder is dwindling. You know, nature does not need us, but we need nature to survive. Those trees do not need us, but we need them. So, but thank you very much, NFA, for the job that you are doing, because it is crucial and very important that we preserve and even grow more trees. May I, at this juncture, call a representative of the Executive Director, UNMA. I think that's Julius Kiprop. Let's welcome him with a round of applause. Julius, come and speak to us.
Thank you. As you've heard, I'm the representative of the ED of UNMA. He is the permanent representative of the WMO for Uganda. He is out of the country for official duty. So he delegated me to handle this task for today. So my name is Julius Kiprop Kapkomo. I'm the manager of networks operations with the Uganda National Meteorological Authority, a well-grounded physical scientist, meteorologist, climate scientist, with the adequate local, national, regional, and international exposure. And by grace of God, I think I fit the shoes of the ED for today. I would like to read this speech. The third Deputy Prime Minister, represented by Honorable Obwa Dennis Samson, Government Chief Whip, the presence of the Senior Presidential Advisor, the former Vice President of Uganda, the Honorable Minister of Water and Environment, Right Reverend Bishop Moses Banja, Namirembe Diocese, Head of Office, Austria Development Corporation, Dr. Kaja Kashabama, the PS Minister of Water and Environment, the Honorable Members of Parliament present, the Board of UNMA present, representatives of the government ministries, departments, and agencies, representatives from the local governments, representatives from civil society organizations, representatives of farmer groups. All protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by appreciating God who has enabled us to successfully come to the end of Uganda Water Environment Week 2024. On behalf of Meteorology Family of Uganda, I would like to congratulate the Minister of Water and Environment and all the institutions that contributed directly or indirectly to the success story of the Water Environment Week 2024. Today, the World Meteorological Organization and all member states are commemorating World Meteorological Day, which is normally annually taken on the 23rd March, which is tomorrow. But today, for us, Uganda, we have done it today because we are part of the ministry. So what can I say? Gallant House, happy World Meteorological Day. First, allow me, on behalf of UNMA board and staff, to extend my sincere appreciation to the Minister of Water and Environment accepting to host this year's event. I also thank the development partners for generally supporting this year's World Meteorological Day. The theme for this year's celebration, according to WMO, is at the front line of climate action. That is the battlefield. At the front line of the climate action, due to climate change, extreme weather events have increased with the devastating impacts. Temperature rise is equally evident as observed in the annual state of climate reports. Warning information on water and climate, on weather and climate, to save life and property, and for decision making and planning. Be it short, tall, whatever. Rich or poor, touches everybody. As the theme suggests, at the front line, UNMA is at the front line of climate action and is well positioned to work with all the institutions and communities to ensure that the early warning information, which is the low-hanging fruit regarding climate adaptation, is ably provided. Sustainable Development Goal 13 commits us to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Progress is in this goal underpins progress in all other sustainable goals. The work of the WMO community is indispensable to climate action and sustainable development goals across the board. The work is of huge societal importance, reducing hunger and poverty, improving health and well-being, ensuring clean water and affordable clean energy, protecting life below the water and life on land, and making our cities and communities more resilient to climate change. Weather and climate predictions help boost food production and move closer to zero hunger. Integrating epidemiology and climate information helps understand and manage diseases sensitive to climate. And early warning systems help to reduce poverty by giving people the chance to prepare and limit the impact of extreme weather. WMO, its member states, including Uganda, and its partners, drive the full value cycle from science to services to action for the good society. It advances knowledge of our Earth system, monitors the state of the climate and water resources, provides scientific information to inform greenhouse emissions reductions, and delivers climate services and early warnings to support climate adaptation. Science is central to solutions and can supercharge progress on SDGs across the board. We are united in science. UNMA, with the support from the government, development partners, and from WMO, will remain at the front line of climate action as we embrace a journey of cooperation and innovation, leveraging collective expertise to overcome challenges and achieve our shared vision of a safer, more resilient world for future generations. This year's theme for Uganda Water Environment 24, you saw rethinking collective action and innovative solutions to water, environment, and climate change crisis. I would like to say in that theme you saw resonates well with the UNMA's role in monitoring the state of the climate and provision of weather and climate information, such as early warning alerts in an event of a likely occurrence of hazardous weather. The extreme weather occurrences are associated with loss of human life, livestock, damage to infrastructure, destruction of crops, minimizing the negative impacts associated with extreme weather phenomena require a reliable early warning system. The findings from a recent study conducted by UNUMA indicate that all regions of Uganda are warming. We have been suffering of recent. The same study found that the warmest years are in the past 2 decades. Such a warming should be of great concern to all of us. This is because a warming atmosphere might be associated with extreme weather events. Scientific evidence indicates that the climate change and associated impacts are already visible in several countries, including Uganda. Studies indicate that the world continues to experience rising sea levels, extreme weather conditions, and increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases. In Uganda, results from studies show that droughts are now more frequent and more severe, leading to frequent cases of crop failure. The country has experienced frequent cases of flooding and landslides in the recent past. Such frequent droughts and crop failures are likely to lead to this reversal of gains made in the social transformation of the country, especially for communities that depend on crop farming as their source of livelihood. Reducing the risk that accompanies weather-related disasters, such as extreme weather events, require early warning. Such early warning systems are important in adapting to the climate change related to disasters. Weather and climate forecasts form a major component of the early warning system. UNUMA appreciates the government of Uganda for embracing the early warnings for all initiatives that will go a long way in ensuring that everyone in Uganda is able to receive and utilize early warning information on weather and climate for planning and decision making. Finally, it is important to note, dear House, 1, the persistence of tropical cyclone and depression over the southwestern Indian Ocean has deprived the East African region of moisture, hence persistence of dry spell. The availability of water vapor around the lake areas creates hot nights, as water vapor has what we call high heat capacity. It contains a lot of heat, and in the night people are suffering because it comes back to us. There is what we call the current phase of Madden Julian, MJO, that as descending winds over our region is. I would like to say this MJO is mode of seasonal atmospheric variability that influences the location and strength of tropical precipitation. Starts over Indian Ocean, over the Central Pacific, but it is weakening now. The absence of rainfall means that there is no cooling effect from the atmosphere, hence the rising temperatures. Increasing loss of green cover, like trees, makes temperatures go high. Across the country, green cover has gone. That's why we are suffering. Currently, the overhead sun is now on the equator. Tomorrow, 23rd March, means there is maximum heating. Tomorrow we have to brave for it. It is overhead us. Another point, tropical cyclones in Indian Ocean around Mozambican Channel diverted the moisture that would have brought rainfall over our region. It has since decayed, and the situation is normalizing. Rainfall will resume, resulting in normal temperatures soon, in a week's time. In urban areas where we all dwell in Kampala and all cities, high buildings, paved compounds, tarmac roads store heat during the day and release it at night. I appeal to our colleagues who are very rich, have a lot of paved compounds. Those are wasted resources. It makes people have esteem that they are powerful, but you are contributing to the drainages which are killing people, Chambogo here, along Lugogo bypass and so on. That water should be, our compound should have grass. The water Victoria without causing harm. We need compounds with grass. Those pavements, I think, should go. You saw when you go down here, you see that you are suffering in the tents. With the support from the government of Uganda, WMO and development partners, UNUMA continues to make major strides in the following members. We provide accuracy of 6-hourly forecast, daily weather, 10-day forecast, to 12-hourly marine forecast. Those who go on the lake, you have had less casualties these days. We have marine forecast twice every day. And if you minimize the messages upon you. So what am I saying? We have 12-hour marine forecast and the seasonal outlook. UNDP is taking advantage of the usage of mobile phones and radios. For your information, if you dial star 201 hash, it will show you what do you want, which landing site, which district. You go and will tell you the weather even for the evening. Star 201 hash. Just kind of write somewhere. Using mobile phones, using radios, WhatsApps, and so on, to deliver severe weather warning and alerts to remote areas. UNDP is also embarking on impact-based forecasting. The forecast is not on what the weather is likely to be. We are now saying, but on what it is likely to do. What is it going to cause? UNDP envisions a multi-hazard early warning system to ensure that climate-sensitive sectors have access to early warning information at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, before I wind up, I have 26-year exposure to the world of meteorological. Challenges we have are, for your information, UNDP was the first. Our threat today is the merger. If you follow the trend of Department of Meteorology from 2015, so our main worry is that one, it has made staff lose morale, and it would be unfortunate for us to be the first in the region to exit agentization. Secondly, we have the task to be in every district. We have 146 districts. We have covered 69%, which is almost 100 districts. We are supposed to be in every district, but we lack infrastructure, chief guest. We need every district to have an automatic station like the other one outside there, which we receive data every 15 minutes. And the more densely populated the equipment are, the more accurate data we get, and the more we shall give you accurate information. So sometimes people say, maybe things are not well this time, but you have realized that we do a lot. Safety at the airport, we have not had any casualty. We don't sleep. Staff work in control tower for 24 hours. So our agency, our challenge is weather equipment, chief guest. We need more weather equipment. And these days, we know the hotspot areas of Uganda. We need more equipment in that area so that we don't respond and use a lot of money. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, that is a big challenge to UNDP. So what am I saying? We need early warning system that requires amount of support from government and development partners so that people move away and they don't lose lives. The reality, as UNDP remains at the front line of climate action. Thank you very much for listening to me, for God and my country.
Give Julius Kiprop another round of applause. There was a gentleman who said that if you go in a city, it can be so sweet in Tentebe Woma. You can actually feel it that the man is so, holding forth very well, and with a lot of energy and a lot of passion. I hope you didn't smuggle in your. But remember, tomorrow it's going to be overhead. He told us tomorrow is what? So it's going to be overhead. And but in the next 2 weeks, the temperature is going to be normal. You know what Kiprop did? He has also given us a weather forecast for quite some weeks ahead, including tomorrow, which is a warning. Okay. At this juncture, allow me to invite the UNDP country rep to come and speak to us. Let us welcome him with a round of applause.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Tangavel Palanivel. I'm not a UNDP resident representative. I am UNDP Senior Economic Advisor and the Chief of the Strategy Policy Team. In this meeting, I'm representing and speaking on behalf of our UNDP resident representative, Madam Navani. So, like previous speaker, I will also add my own little bit remarks. To start with, at the outset, I also wanted to recognize our chief guest and the former vice president of the country, senior presidential advisors, and the members of parliament present, and the Honorable PS, Ministry of Water and Environment, other senior government officials present. Then I also wanted to recognize the development partner, especially the head of the Austrian Development Cooperation Agency. I also wanted to recognize all the district local government officials present, religious leaders present, representative from the private sector, civil society organizations, my own colleagues from the UN agency, ladies and gentlemen. As we come together to this closing ceremony of this, the Uganda Water Environment Week, which is celebrating 3 United Nations International Day, namely the International Forestry, World Water Day, the World Meteorological Day. I am deeply honored to stand before you to speak on behalf of UNDP, just few minutes or few remarks. The first and foremost that we would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Ministry of Water and Environment and the government of Uganda for their strong support, dedication in organizing this important event every year, the last 7 years or more. The government leadership and the vision has been instrumental in bringing together a range of stakeholders from youth, academic, other range of stakeholders to discuss these 3 important issues: water, environment, climate change. We also want to extend our appreciation to all participants, the keynote speaker, the paper presenter, and the other participants, government officials, private sector partners, everyone in the last 1 week, including the people, youth, done walking from 500 kilometers to kind of increase awareness. So that's we are really, truly appreciate everyone for raising this awareness. This last 5 days, the number of you played a critical role in enhancing collaboration, exchanging idea, and also coming out a collective action towards how we could all try to support the theme of this week, rethinking collective action and innovative solution to water, environment, climate change crisis in Uganda. Throughout this week, we all explored various interlinked challenges, opportunity, each of these 3 issues: water, climate change, environment. We also explored the traditional approaches, the new innovative approaches, how some of those approaches could be leveraged, harnessed to address the challenges, opportunities. We also explored the critical linkages between a number of sustainable development goals: clean water sanitation goal, SDG goal 6, then SDG 15, environmental sustainability, climate actions, SDG 13, number of SDGs. Distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, the International Day of Forest in 2024 is being celebrated on the theme of forest and innovation, new solution for a better world. As many of you know, the United Nations General Assembly declared 21st March as the International Day of Forest. In first time is announced in 2012 to celebrate, to raise awareness about the importance of all kind of forest issue. So last 12 years across the world, we are celebrating this International Forestry Day. The fight against deforestation in Uganda other countries require new technological solution. The reason is very simple. Globally, every year 10 million hectares of forest being lost, deforest. 10 million hectares of the forest area being lost. Approximately 70 million hectares being affected by the fire every year. So in this context, innovation technology have revolutionized the forest monitoring, enabling country to track the forest condition, report on the forest more effectively. As a result, in the last 10-12 years, as a world, internationally, globally, we were able to actually 13.7 billion ton of CO2 emission being reduced thanks to such innovative forest monitoring and other methods. Uganda also has, let me also share that many of you probably know, but if not, Uganda also has leveraged technology innovation in its forest monitoring. It may be noted that UNDP support, the government of Uganda had developed a natural resource information system, simply called NARIS system, which is a real-time data monitoring, a real-time data actually mapping using the drone and other technology to monitor changes in forest cover, to track the impact of initiative relating to the deforestation, to provide an open data sources for future initiative. We need to use such an innovative technology solution, not only to monitor the forest, but also to try to address other emerging challenges. As many of you know, recently the European Union actually come out with a new regulation like that any coffee export going to the Europe need to be certified that it is being cultivated not in a deforested area. So in order to certify that the coffee being exported to Europe, it's not being cultivated in the deforested land, we need to have such a real-time data mapping system, monitor system, so that we may be able to address other socio-economic transformation agenda like coffee production export. Similarly, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, globally in the last 31 years, we have been celebrating the World Water Day. Every 22nd March, every year, we have been celebrating the World Water Day. This year, the UN has announced that the World Water Day would be celebrated under the theme of peace, water for the peace. Transboundary water account 60% of the world freshwater resources, which is the cross-border water resources. More than 3 billion people depends upon such a transboundary like river system, like Nile River system, for their livelihood, drinking and all. Today, 153 countries share that such a transboundary water resources, like a river system. But unfortunately, only 24 countries have so far reported a kind of international cooperation, the regional cooperation agreement to share the water resources going on the river system. We must accelerate effort to work together across the border and managing the water, utilizing the water more effectively. So in this regard, the cooperation over transboundary water resources is not only essential for our economic transformation, but also to address climate action and prevention of other related issues, including water conflict. In this context, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in his World Water Day message, emphasized that the world urgently need for increased transboundary water cooperation. He urged all countries to join implement the United Nations Water Convention, which promote the managing shared water resources sustainably. Uganda is actually leading. Last year, I attended a meeting in the suburban area of Kampala, which is the Africa Stakeholder Regional Engagement on the Transboundary Water Cooperation. That meeting after 4 days meeting, came out a declaration called Kampala Declaration on the transboundary watermarks, how actually Uganda is working with other, the countries on the Nile Basin River to address some of those actually water management, water pollution, all kind of other issues. So if you look into that kind of Kampala Declaration on the transboundary water issue will show that Uganda commitment to manage such a cross-border transboundary water resources. Third, distinguished guest participants, ladies and gentlemen, the previous speaker also highlighted that the World Meteorological Day, it's been again going on almost last 73 years. The United Nations established the World Meteorological Day in 1951, immediately after establishment of World Meteorological Organization on 23rd March 1950. Climate change is a real, is affecting every one of us. The effects are already visible. So therefore, the theme of this World Meteorological Day is about at the front lines of climate action. So what is that UNDP is trying to do this year as part of this celebration? This year, if you turned your TV, global TV, yesterday, today, you would say that UNDP working with the World Meteorological Organization to launch a global awareness campaign involving school children, involving actors, involving, famous people to raise awareness. The awareness campaign is called is the Weather Kids campaign, involving millions of children and celebrities, UNDP Goodwill Ambassadors in the next, coming days, working with the other international organizations, especially the World Meteorological Organization, supported by even the Weather Channel. You know, the Weather Channel is one of the leading weather channel. UNDP has established a number of partners to increase the awareness using its network. So why we do, distinguished guest participants, healthy natural ecosystem underpin sustainable development. It's underpin our own, healthy human development, human well-being. Apart from that, the healthy ecosystem contribute to the $125 trillion assets to the humanities. $125 trillion is more than the world every year produce as a GDP. It is for this very reason that UNDP has nature-based solution as one of its 6 signature solutions across the world, working in 170 countries to address some of those, the water-related issue, environment, climate change. It is for the same reason in Uganda, UNDP biggest portfolio in this country is about the nature, environment, climate change, resilience. We spend about 55% of our resources, more than like $12 million every year is spent on address this particular issue in this country. To conclude, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, throughout this week, we have had an opportunity to explore the critical issue related to the water scarcity, water pollution, climate change, biodiversity, loss, etc., etc. We have also examined innovative solution, traditional solution. We also exchanged those ideas, best practices, also how we could actually work as a collective partnership action to address some of those issues. Our work does not end today, this meeting. It is just beginning. We must continue to build on the momentum generated during this week, translate our discussion in terms of concrete action in the coming weeks, coming months, coming years. The challenges we face on this issue are huge, but they are not unmanageable. They are manageable. The world as a whole have enough financing. We have more than 500 trillion in terms of financial assets. But the financial assets in the hands of the private sector, how we could leverage, mobilize those resources to address this issue. By working together with all kind of partners, we can safeguard our precious water resources, protect our environment, ensure our sustainable future for our young people, generation to come. As the UNDP, we remain committed to supporting Uganda stakeholder, government, other stakeholders in their effort to the promoting, achieving sustainable development goals, also realizing the Uganda 2040 visions, and also achieving, implementing the Uganda Development Plan. As I close, on behalf of UNDP, let us remember that the decision we make today or this week will shape the world tomorrow, shape the Uganda tomorrow. Let us seize this opportunity to redouble our effort, make a lasting impact on the health, well-being of our planet, our human being. Together we can build a more resilient, a prosperous future for not only in this country, but also contribute to the entire humanity. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause. UNDP is such a crucial and strategic partner in Uganda, and you've done quite a lot, and we thank you. Mr. Guest of Honor, we only have 2 speeches left, or maybe 3, and they're going to be very short. So at this juncture, allow me to invite, let me try to pronounce his name, Dr. Katia Kashubama. Dr. Katia Kashubama is from the Austrian Embassy Development Corporation, but she has also moved with another person, Irene Novotny, from the Austrian Development Agency in Vienna. We recognize your presence also, Dr. Kashubama. And after that, I will invite the PS to take over, who will invite the former Vice President, and to move on to speak to us briefly. After Dr. Kashubama, Mr. PS, you'll come. Thank you.
Thank you for the excellent pronunciation of my name. The guest of honor, Right Honorable Third Deputy Prime Minister, represented by the Government Chief Whip, the former Vice President and Senior Presidential Advisor for Water and Environment, the Honorable Minister for Water and Environment, represented by the Permanent Secretary, the representative of UNDP, the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, members of Parliament, government officials in your respective capacities, representatives of local governments, representatives from civil society, fellow development partners, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to give these remarks today at the closing ceremony of the Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024, which has served as a unique gathering, bringing together government officials, diplomats, politicians, academicians, private sector, civil society, and youth to discuss critical issues pertaining to water and environment in the country. I would like to sincerely thank the Ministry of Water and Environment for having organized this colorful event with engaging sessions and great lessons to learn. Now it is time for us to collectively reflect on the profound discussions, on the knowledge exchange, the collaborations and commitments made during this week. The Austrian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Austrian Development Agency, in cooperation with our line ministries and other organizations in Austria, promote environmental protection and climate change adaptation, as well as mitigation strategies at the global level. Therefore, the Austrian Embassy Development Corporation here in Uganda mirrors these goals in our activities with our partners, including the Ministry of Water. Under the European Union Division of Labor in Uganda, Austria, together with France and Germany, is covering and responsible for the International Day of Water. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the week-long event, we delved into critical issues facing Uganda's water, environment, and climate systems. We witnessed a convergence of stakeholders from government, civil society, academia, the private sector, all united by one shared goal: the sustainable and resilient water and environmental management. The theme of collective action resonates deeply as we recognize that addressing complex challenges such as water scarcity, environmental degradation, and climate change demands a united effort. The discussions were not just about acknowledging problems, but also about exploring innovative solutions and leveraging partnerships to drive meaningful change. We have been inspired by the dedication and passion of the participants, the exhibitors, the researchers, the politicians, the academicians, the government, who have showcased groundbreaking initiatives, research findings, and policy frameworks aimed at enhancing biodiversity conservation and climate resilience across Uganda. We hope that all these outcomes will be put into action. As we commemorate the Water Week, it is important to note that we have spoken a lot about the right to water. However, when we ask ourselves what that right actually entails, there's not so much information available. You might know that Austria has two focus sectors in Uganda. One, of course, is water and sanitation, and the other one is good governance and access to justice. So therefore, let me try to look at the right of water and what it actually means. Internationally, access to safe drinking water and sanitation are recognized as human rights, derived from the right to an adequate standard of living under Article 11 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. Additionally, the United Nations General Assembly explicitly acknowledged the right to water and sanitation as essential for the full enjoyment of life and all human rights in a resolution adopted in 2010. This resolution affirmed that clean drinking water is integral to the realization of all human rights. At the national level, and we heard about this at the opening from the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice of Uganda, at the national level, Uganda has made strides in water governance through the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as amended in 2005, under its national objectives and directive principles, which recognize the state's responsibility to provide safe and clean water. The right to water encompasses several essential components. So let us break them down. There is the accessibility of water, which refers to physical access to water sources without discrimination. There is the availability of water, which pertains to an adequate and reliable supply of water for personal and domestic use. There is the quality of water, which denotes that water must be safe, clean, and free from contaminants harmful to health. There is the affordability, which implies that water and water services should be economically accessible to all without compromising other basic needs. And finally, there is acceptability, which ensures that water meets cultural and social norms, respecting dignity and privacy. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the right to water belongs to the family of the social and economic rights, and that makes its enforcement a bit difficult. While we all recognize that they exist, they are so much harder to enforce as the civil and political rights, where so much more jurisprudence is internationally already available. The questions that we still have with a lot of social and economic rights, such as the right to work or the right to food, is how do we enforce them? Can an individual sue? Who can we sue? Does the individual sue the government? Even if there is a decision, how can that decision be enforced? As I'm hoping that on an international and national level, that international courts and Ugandan courts shine more light on how the right to water can be implemented, what it entails, how it can be applied and enforced. Let me conclude by thanking once again the Ministry of Water and Environment for organizing the 2024 Water and Environment Week, and also note that Austria remains committed to supporting and working with all our partners and the Ugandan government to attain its development goals as outlined in the National Development Plan 3 and the Vision 2040. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Katia. Another round of applause. And, she said water should be available, but should also be accessible, should be affordable, should be free of contaminants. So not just water. And I think I agree with you on that. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chief Guest, let us have a 3-minute video that captures what we have been up to since Monday. I hope it is available now. And after that, I will invite the PS to come and take over to invite the former Vice President and, of course, later on, our guest of honor. Is that video ready now?
The week-long Uganda Water and Environment WUEC event has come to an end with a number of activities and deliberations from a cross-section of stakeholders from all walks of life. This year's hybrid event, the 7th of its kind, is organised by the Ministry of Water and Environment through the Water Resources Institute, with an aim of raising awareness and attracting more stakeholders to share knowledge, experiences and challenges affecting human life in the water and environment sectors in Uganda. Running under the theme, Rethinking Collective Action and Innovative Solutions to Water, Environment and Climate Change Crisis in Uganda, the event kicked off with several pre-event activities, which included, among others, a 518-kilometre walk trail from Fort Portal to the Ministry headquarters in Kampala. Working in collaboration with the Walkers Association of Uganda and several other stakeholders, the Ministry of Water and Environment interfaced with the public with a myriad of activities that included tree planting, marathons, football matches, clean-up exercises, a national youth debate tournament, and sensitisation talks in communities, schools, churches and on radio. Alongside the trek, the Ministry, in collaboration with Youth Go Green, a non-governmental organisation that promotes youth involvement in water and environmental conservation, organised a national youth debate tournament that attracted over 500 participants from a cross-section of universities, secondary and primary schools across the country to raise awareness on water, environment and climate change issues among the youth. The 2024 National Youth Debate winner, grand finale for the university category, is Finns Medical University for the university category, while Mimbarara High School emerged as the winner of the high school category. The youth debates have been organised under the theme, Youth Engagement for Sustainable Water, Environment and Climate Action, aligning with the official WUEC main theme. To crown up the WUEC event, a hybrid conference that attracted several participants from across the world was officially launched on Monday, the 18th of March, 2024 at the Ministry's headquarters in Luzira, where several dignitaries from the government, the international community and several stakeholders from the private sector attended. Dialogue sessions commenced from Tuesday the 19th through to the 22nd of March 2024 with groups of keynote speakers and panellists expounding on 4 sub-themes, namely sustainable access and utilisation of water and environmental resources for economic development, nature-based solutions to solve water, environment and climate change crisis. Nature-based solutions to solve water, environment and climate change crisis, as well as protection of lives, livelihoods and property to support community resilience and stability. The sub-themes were designed to address water, environment and climate change issues and challenges and outcomes and recommendations of key global water and environment-related events. The Uganda Water and Environment Week is held alongside 3 international days, which resonate with the Ministry's mandate. That's World Forest Day, which falls on the 21st World Water Day, on the 22nd, and World Meteorological Day on the 23rd of March every year.
Thank you very much, the media team. A round of applause. And now, may I take this juncture to invite the PS, the Ministry of Water and Environment, Mr. Kidi, to come and take over from here, and also take the honor of inviting the other dignitaries, including our guest of honor, to speak to us. Let us warmly welcome him here. You have been very phenomenal, and the entire ministry, in organizing this 7th Water and Environment Week.
The Right Honourable Third Deputy Prime Minister, represented by the Chief Whip, Honourable Amson Boa, the former Vice President of Uganda, who is also our Special Senior Presidential Advisor on Environment and Sanitation, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, colleagues from central and local government, all development partners, civil society organizations, private sector, academia, the youth, and exhibitors, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the closing ceremony of the Uganda Water and Environment Week. The first person to speak in this last segment is our very own, and he is also a senior citizen. He has served this country as Vice President, and the President has requested him and accepted to serve as Senior Presidential Advisor. Your Excellency, you can greet the people and say a word. I know he's very new in office. I've had one meeting with him, but still we request you to say a word or two to the people here. You're welcome.
Actually, I was ambushed, but I will say a very few words. Our chief guest, my colleague I moved with in northern Uganda about 10 years or 15 years ago. The permanent secretary, UNDP representative, the Germany group, the name was very difficult for me to announce, and you fellow Ugandans. When I came here, my first thing was an apology. I should have been here every day, because I saw beauty of many things that are going on here, some of which are new to me. It reminded me of the time I went. It was in 2000 and one. When I visited Namulonge, and I found rice being grown in the premises of Namulonge, beautifully cultivated there. And I said, what, you are growing this rice on soil? Yes. No, I only knew the rice grown in water. What is this? Is magic. But when I walked out of the compound, I saw primitivity, poverty, lack of food, yet there was rice in this huge Namulonge establishment. This is what I've been wondering about here. So many things well done. But when I walk across, I see poverty and rubbish thrown everywhere and withering trees. My question has been, why are we crying out there that the trees are disappearing? And here is huge knowledge about trees being planted there. That, to me, is the biggest problem we have. The science, and that science linking to the poor. Sanitation getting out of science in their compounds to where it belongs, the poor people. If I drive through Kampala, I see stagnant water, contaminated fully, and we just peep there, and the small children are playing in that water. And when they play in that water, they swallow some, and then you have repeated diarrhea, other infectious diseases, and yet here is the science. What's the problem? So, Chief Guest, that's my wonder. I traveled with the Chief Guest in northern Uganda, and I saw a beautiful tree. I really loved that tree. The sheer nut butter tree. They gave me some fruits. This sheer nut produces very nice oil that when you go to the body shops in Europe, but you buy 5 cc's of that oil for more than $10. When I went back to Bologna, trees were cut. I wanted more trees of that nature in our country. So we have a big challenge to link these wonderful programs to the communities and making those communities aware of the importance of mind change. Not among you, among those people out there. I'm very new to this area. I studied water, I studied the environment in a very nice place in the north of England called Scarborough. When I came here, I went into different places. But the president, 5 years ago, talking with him, he said, you Kenya, why are my forests disappearing? I said, I don't know. Maybe you are selling them. He said, no. Why are the wetlands disappearing? I told him, I don't know. Maybe you are building houses there. And that challenge brought me to this nightmare of those who know and those plenty who don't know. How can we use this knowledge of all of you who know, and I walk with you to places where the forests are gone? The water is very dirty, and people drink it every day. I live near the lake, and all these communities get a jerry can and go and dip it in the lake to collect their water for drinking. Mine is piped. Theirs is raw water, and I live near them. That's the problem of Africa, and that's the problem of developing. Linking science to communities, and let's not use them as pilot studies. Let's go there. Change them. Let them know. And they can do something very positive. Permanent Secretary, you ambushed me. That's my message. And the Chief of Guests, I thank you, all of you. I've actually been very excited about what I've learned here today. I wish I was here the whole week. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Vice President Emeritus, Dr. Gilbert Bukenya. Now we are going to go through very brief ceremony. We have some awards to give, but before I give the word, Dr. Felix, are you ready? You have something to launch? Quickly, if I don't see you in the next 30 seconds, I will cancel. So what are we launching? Just tell us what you are launching and bring the item being launched here.
Thank you very much, PS. Our chief guest, honorable dignitaries, all protocol observed. We take the opportunity to launch the Uganda Water Supply and Sanitation Atlas. Ladies and gentlemen, this atlas is a very important tool for us, a decision-making tool, which enables us to see and map out in the whole country the level of service provision in water and sanitation. And in this atlas, we are able to see what is the status and what is the coverage, and therefore, it helps us to map out our next decisions and what we are going to do and what we shall prioritize on. However, we developed this atlas in 2001. We have updated it in 2010 and also 2010-7, but it has old data and is not also in line with the Sustainable Development Goal performance indicators. Under the project of Strategic Towns Water Supply and Sanitation Project, we developed a new tool and we improved the indicators into measuring water and how to measure sanitation according to the new SDG targets. And unfortunately, due to limited resources, we've done this covering only the 8 districts in which the project is working. And these are Chenjojo, Buikwe, Nakasongola, Dokoro, Kamuli, Kapshorwa, Kayunga, and Bujo. And with this new approach, we have added more water points into the tool. We have added more sanitation points into the tool, and it gives us an accurate position. So today, Mr. Permanent Secretary and Chief Guest, we launched this atlas to enable us use this new tool to cover all the other remaining districts so that we have updated data and everybody can see where we stand with service provision. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The chief guest, please, can you come and help us launch this atlas? Here we go.
On behalf of the government of the Republic of Uganda, I hereby launch the Water Supply and Sanitation Atlas. In the name of God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Next, we are going to go to the awards. We need to do it pretty quickly. Dr. Kalis, yes, I think you have.
Guest of honor, we have a few awards to some of the organizations that have worked with the Ministry of Water and Environment since we launched the Uganda Water and Environment Week. So these are partners that have consistently supported the Uganda Water and Environment Week. We have GIZ. GIZ, can we get GIZ to come forward? IRC, Water for People, Water Aid Uganda, WWF, and IUCN. So the guest of honor is going to recognize these partners. These partners have been with us since 2018, and we would like to appreciate them. So GIZ, let's give them an applause. IRC, Water for People. Water for People, are you there? Water Aid Uganda. Water Aid Uganda. WWF. Do we have WWF here? IUCN. Water Aid. Jane, you can receive for Water for People. Let's receive, Jane, IRC, you can receive Water for People. Gwendolyn, receive for WWF. Jane, you can receive for Water for People. WWF. And then IUCN. Gwendolyn, you can receive for IUCN as well. So let's give a big applause to our partners. We want to thank you. This doesn't mean that these are the only partners. We have many, many other partners, but these are the partners that have worked with us for 7 years in this journey. They have continuously supported the Uganda Water and Environment Week, and we would like to appreciate. The guest of honor, we have been having exhibitions. And when the team moved around, they checked around and they picked the winner, the best exhibitor, Nexus Green. The Nexus Green here, they have shown innovations. They might be down there. Nexus Green, can somebody receive for Nexus Green? One of the Secretariat members. When you can receive. Rachel, can you come and receive for Nexus Green? I know they might be down at their exhibition. Nexus Green has exhibited innovative technology, including, of course, you saw a motorcycle, which they are exhibiting, and of course, solar equipment. So we want to thank Nexus Green, and also want to thank the other exhibitors for the good work done. We have had the paper presentations, and we have an overall best presenter, Andrew Mwesigwa. Andrew Mwesigwa was the best presenter. Andrew Mwesigwa, are you around? Can you come very fast? Andrew Mwesigwa is a water officer based in Albert Water Management Zone. So he was the best presenter according to the team that evaluated this. So thank you very much, Andrew. We had best female presenter who presented on practice, Irene Nakazi from Victoria Water Management Zone. Irene, are you around? Irene Nakazi is not around. Can somebody come and pick for Irene? Caroli, team leader for Victoria Water Management Zone. Irene Nakazi, the best female presenter in practice category. This is the team leader for Victoria Water Management Zone picking the award on behalf of Irene Nakazi. We had the best male presenter, Mr. Pasquale Keldong, team leader for Upper Nile Water Management Zone. Is Pasquale around? Best presenter under the scientific category, Mr. Pasquale Keldong, the new team leader for Upper Nile Water Management Zone, is just 2 months old and has demonstrated the capacity. So thank you very much, and I hope that you lead the team. A guest of honor, we have been having youth debates. Can I call upon Denise Ayebale from Uganda Youth Council to come and present the winners under the youth debates? We have had youth debates in the regions. We have had national youth competitions. So Denise Ayebale is from Uganda Youth Council.
All right, thank you so much. Our guest of honor, Government Whip, the Senior Presidential Advisor and former Vice President of Uganda, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water and Environment, members of Parliament, colleagues from central and local government, the development partners in the water and environment sector, the senior management of the Ministry of Water and Environment, the media, and of course, the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, well, whereas debates most of the time serve as competition, the Ministry of Water and during work, they have recognized their platforms of critical thinking, dialogue, and awareness raising. Through engaging in such talents, spirited discussions, the youth have continuously gained valuable insights in the water and management sector. We want to thank the Ministry of Water and Environment for the consistent support, their commitment to recognizing and believing in the youth power. I want to go ahead and recognize the youth subcommittee on behalf of the National Organizing Committee of WEC 24, chaired by Edwin Muhumza, and the Vice Chair, who is Pamela Musimenta. And we want to recognize all the other members that have made this possible. Going on, these debates couldn't have happened right from the 4 regions, Albertine region, Southwestern region, the Central region, and Eastern region, without the insight of the judges who did an impartial job. So we'd want to recognize the judges available. They could probably stand up under Debate Academy Uganda. Andrew, Belinda, Diana, Calvin, we would want to thank you for the incredible work. Going forward, we are going to award from the secondary category the best male speaker, who was Nuwagawa Wright. Nuwagawa Wright was the best speaker still in Western regional debates, and he still made it to the finals to be the best speaker today that took place at the National Water Storage Corporation headquarters. Recognizing the best female speaker within the secondary category, Shanice Chloe from Bale Secondary School. And the overall best speaker within the university category was Chibirango Rahim Osama from Chambogo University. Going on to the winners for the secondary category, today in the finals, we had Mbara High School versus Bishop Cipriano Chihanjire SS. And with the verdict, where the judges agreed that Mbara High School won this year's debate tournament. All right, they got their certificates of participation. They're going to have their certificate for the school, the plaque, and their award, which is from the ministry. Courtesy of the ministry, they have a cash prize. All right, congratulations. And with the university category, just for clarity, I was the champion last year. So for university category, we had 4 universities in the finals, and we're using the British parliamentary format where we have 4 teams. So we had Chambogo University, we had Finn's Medical School, we had Gulu University, and we had Mbara University of Science and Technology. Coming in first position, this debate was judged by 4 judges who all agreed that the winners of this debate tournament, category A university, are Finn's Medical School. They get to have a plaque, the certificate, and the cash prize, courtesy of the Ministry of Water and Environment. All right, I would want to thank the Ministry of Water and Government for the cash prize and other development partners for always providing platforms for youth participation and advocacy. Thank you for the belief in youth power, and we encourage you to always include the youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the youth. Let's give them a big applause. And we hope that you continue competing so that you get the winners. So, Youth Go Green, Uganda National Youth Council, thank you very much for mentoring these youth. Our guest of honor, we celebrated Uganda Water and Environment Week in 6 regions of the country. And we have teams based in those regions. They really put the country on fire. And we would want to use this opportunity, guest of honor, to recognize really the work they have done. So can we get the Southwestern Region team of the Ministry of Water and Environment to come for recognition? We have an award here. All the 6 regions of the ministry have all received awards for the good work that we have done. Southwestern Region, can you come very fast? You received the award from the guest of honor. You made very good arrangements and performed beyond expectations. This is the team that met the workers and enabled them to do their work. So thank you very much again for the good work. Keep it up. The leadership of the ministry appreciates. Can we call the Albertine region team based in Fort Portal? Can you come very fast? Would want the northern region to follow very fast so that we can move faster? Albertine region, very fast. Please, team members, come. Albertine region, come. Team members, very fast. Northern region, come. Be following so that we can do it very fast. Again, thank you very much for the good work that you have been doing as a region. These are the team members that have really done a good job to welcome the workers, and they have done a lot of activities on the ground. So thank you very much, Albertine region. Northern region, can you come forward? Thank you very much again. The Northern region had activities in Arua, and really they put the whole region on a standstill because of the activities they were doing there, and we want to thank them very much. Eastern region and the Karamoja region, can you follow? Eastern region, where are you? Very fast. Eastern region. Then Karamoja region, get ready. And then, last but not least, Central region. So, Eastern region, very fast. The teams from Eastern region, please. We know you are there. You come and receive the award. Quickly, you come and join the team leader, Choga Water Management Zone. Yes. So thank you very much again for the good work you have done to celebrate work regional activities there. Karamoja region. Yes, Alex. Yes, Karamoja region. And any other members from Karamoja region, you can come and join. Alex Ojuk has done a very good job, PS. He has really held Karamoja in his hands, and I would want us to appreciate his efforts. Thank you very much. Central region, where are you? Very fast. Central region, you are not in Central. Where are you? Can you come and receive the award? Please. Central region, where are you? Somebody from the ministry headquarters, you come and receive for Central region. Dennis, you can. Are they in Wakiso? Where are they? Okay, fine. So Central region and the workers. The rest one is the workers, isn't it? So last but not least, guest of honor would want to recognize the people who walked 518 kilometers. Can we give a big applause to our workers? Geoffrey Ayeni and your team would want you to come forward and appreciate you for the good work you have done. Yes, indeed, you can see how he works, and that's how he works every time. So thank you very much again. Yes, the Workers Association of Uganda, they have been with us for many, many years since we started, and they are working for the cause of water, environment, and climate change. Guest of honor, PS, this marks the end of the awards. We have a few other awards for the guests, maybe PS, I don't know whether. Okay, so let's continue and finalize the awards. We have an award for our guest of honor. Can we get the award for our guest of honor very fast? And PS will present the award to our guest of honor who has graced us with his presence here. So, guest of honor, this is in appreciation of your coming to join us here to preside over this closing ceremony. We do want to appreciate. We have UNDP. We want to recognize UNDP. We have been with UNDP for many, many years. So thank you very much, UNDP, for coming over to join us as always. So, guest of honor, Permanent Secretary, this marks the end of the award ceremony. We want to thank everybody. We awarded a few, but doesn't mean that we didn't get support from all of you. So we appreciate all of you and wish you the best as you now start preparing for the 8th Uganda Water and Environment Week. As we close this one, we start preparing for the next one. And hopefully you'll be the winners and also will be awarding you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kalis. allow me now to read the speech for the Minister of Water and Environment, who is not able to be with us here. It has nothing to do with his being reappointed and getting too excited. He's actually on some duties out of this town. I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you all, our dear participants, to the closing ceremony of the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024. In a special way, allow me welcome and thank our guests of honor, the Right Honorable Kia Nakadamba, 3rd Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, represented by the NRM Chief Whip, Honorable Amson Ubua, for honoring our invitation to officiate at the closing ceremony of the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024. Your presence here today is an indication of your commitment and the importance that you, the executive, and government as a whole attach to matters of water, environment, and climate change in this country. I wish also in a very special way to welcome the former Vice President of Uganda, Dr. Gilbert Bukenya, who is also the Senior Presidential Advisor on Environment and Sanitation. You are welcome. We look forward to working with you to address issues of environment and sanitation, tapping on your wisdom and many years of experience in this country and also as an elder and senior citizen. I wish to congratulate everyone here for successfully completing a full week of commemorative activities that included dialogues, technical presentations, applied training courses, field visits, exhibitions, and several site events. Let me take this opportunity in a very special way to thank the staff of my ministry and our various partners for the good organization of this event and for bringing together all the key stakeholders to dialogue on issues affecting the sector. I wish also to thank the various sponsors of Uganda Water and Environment Week. You're more than 80. I cannot enumerate you for providing the financial and other in-kind resources that have enabled us to successfully commemorate the Uganda Water Week and Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024, starting with the pre-event activities. UWEC has included celebrations of 3 international sector days. That is the International Forest Day, which is normally marked on 20th March, World Water Day, 21st March, and World Meteorological Day, 22nd March. The theme for the International Day of Forests has been Forests and Innovations, New Solutions for a Better World. That for the World Water Day has been Water for Peace, while that for meteorology has been at the front line of climate action. These themes rhyme well with the overall theme of this year's Water and Environment Week, which is rethinking collective action and innovative solutions to water, environment, and climate change crisis in Uganda. This theme has further been explored under 4 sub-themes, as you are aware. I hope the celebrations of WEC 2024 under these sub-themes have provided opportunities for you, the participants, to rethink existing approaches and solutions to addressing water, environment, and climate change challenges in Uganda, while building on the outcomes and recommendations of the various global, regional, and national water and environment and climate change-related events. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's event have clearly demonstrated that water and environment has absolute necessity for people, planet, and prosperity, and are at the very core of sustainable development. Safe drinking water and adequate sanitation and hygiene are pillars of human health and well-being. In fact, they are rights. The week has further highlighted the dependence of the country on the environmental and natural resources to deliver water, environmental and natural resource goods and services in order to enhance production and productivity. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of efforts need to be put in the provision of clean water and appropriate sanitation services to reduce the disease burden, enable the women and the youth to be spared time for collecting water and promote production and hence employment and wealth creation. The varying uses of water are interlinked and require sustainable exploitation and management to ensure that there is adequate water of the right quantity and quality for both production and domestic usage, even during difficult times or the dry spells. Uganda faces continuing and increasing challenges to environmental and natural resources management, especially amidst the prevailing climate change crisis, calling for greater efforts to ensure that these resources are sustainably managed for present and future generations. I wish, therefore, to call upon you all to join hands with my ministry and other stakeholders to ensure that the above challenges are addressed. As I conclude, I wish to request you all to take note of the outcomes and the recommendations of this 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week and use them to drive the water, environment, and climate change agenda while delivering services that are going to result into wealth creation, jobs for our people, and revenue for government of Uganda. It is now my pleasure and privilege to invite the Right Honorable Third Deputy Prime Minister, represented by the Chief Whip, Honorable Omobua, to deliver the remarks and formally close the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week. For God and my country, you're welcome, Honorable.
Before I deliver the written speech of the Third Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, permit me on my own to say the following. One is to deliver to you warm and fraternal greetings from the Right Honorable Rukia Nakadama, the Third Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda, who should have been here to officiate at the closing ceremony, but currently she's out of the country on another state duty. Two, I wish to, in a very special way, recognize my mentor, my supervisor, my boss, because once a boss, always a boss. While a little young man growing in northern Uganda and trusted by the youth of the greater Lira district as the youth chairman of Lira District Youth Council, at the same time serving at the National Youth Council, I was identified by two prominent citizens. Citizen number one, His Excellency the President, and citizen number two, the then Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Emeritus Professor Gilbert Balebaseka Bukenya. In the African culture, we are fond of heaping praises when people are not there. At the age of 24, I was identified. He was just being polite and diplomatic. But he identified me and placed me in his office. And when I resigned to join politics as youth member of parliament, he is the one who cleared me. And I want to really thank him before you now that we have met in this convocation and assembly. I want to thank you, sir, for the opportunity you granted to me to serve as a staff of State House attached to office of the Vice President when you were serving as Vice President of the Republic of Uganda. In my journey, I can't tell my story without your name coming in. Even when you Google about Obua Dennis Amson, about my story, your name and that of His Excellency the President will always be there, because from that time to date, the rest is history. When he cleared my resignation, I was elected the Youth Member of Parliament for Northern Uganda. I served for 5 years, then later on transition into the adult suffrage. And by the grace of God, I have made history as the youngest member of the National Resistance Movement to have served 4 consecutive terms. And I'm still 40 years, so you can see when I joined the institution of Parliament. So he made the way for me, and I am the youngest cabinet minister in this season and time, 2024. So I want to thank you, sir. I also want to, before I deliver this speech, say I am very, very happy with the idea of the youth debate. I am a typical product of both the children and youth debates. Because in 1994, I was a young man, still a child under the laws of Uganda. But I participated at the parliamentary mock debate for the children of Uganda. I represented the children of Northern Uganda in the parliamentary mock debate that led to the promulgation of the 1995 Constitution. So when I see young men, you know, leaders come, leaders go. Today is my time, tomorrow I will be out of this stage. It is you, the young people, to come and replace us. Just like you can see my senior is here, he mentored me, he gave me an opportunity. Did I have a godfather or godmother? A typical Lango boy, nurtured and groomed from a rural, typical African village, but identified by the vice president and the president of a country. And now he's here at the national stage. Who am I? To God be the glory. So young people, do not take these issues of the youth debate lightly. That must shape you as a future leader. Finally, we were told that there are over 80 stakeholders supporting the water and environment sector. And I must say, while we were conducting visitation and inspection of the different stalls, the level of innovations, the level of initiatives, to me, I can say the future of water and environment is bright. But on condition that, one, we walk the talk, and two, we practice what we preach. That marks the end of what Obua has stated as Obua. Let me now turn to the speech of the chief guest. The Honorable Minister of Water and Environment in this assembly, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Vice President Emeritus of the Republic of Uganda and currently serving as the Senior Presidential Advisor, the Honorable Members of Parliament, the Permanent Secretary, once again of the Ministry of Water and Environment, the Executive Directors and Directors of State Parastatals here present, development partners for the water and environment sector, private sector and civil society organizations, staff of the Ministry of Water and Environment and other government officials in your respective capacities, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am humbled and deeply honored to officiate at this closing ceremony of the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024, commemorated under the theme, Rethinking Collective Action and Innovative Solutions to Water, Environment, Climate Change Crisis in Uganda. I wish to salute the leadership of the Ministry of Water and Environment and the various partners for successfully organizing and concluding an all-week-long encompassing activities that brought together key stakeholders to dialogue and find solutions to key issues affecting the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, water and environment are connectors and catalysts in the socioeconomic development process of our country and also key ingredients for peace and stability. I wish to state that Uganda's development agenda is guided by the National Development Plan 3, which aims at helping the country deliver on the aspirations of the people as embedded and articulated in the Uganda Vision 2040. The key goal of the National Development Plan 3 is to increase the average Ugandan household income and quality of life through industrialization, among others. Therefore, considering that water and environment resources are at the core of sustainable development and are critical for socioeconomic development, healthy ecosystems, and human survival, sustainable utilization of these resources will be critical in the achievement of Uganda's UNDP goals and target. Ladies and gentlemen, to note with clarity and emphasis is that our water, environment, and natural resources are under increasing pressure from degradation due to factors such as increased demand for agricultural land, increasing urbanization, settlement, and infrastructural development. This continued loss and degradation of wetlands, forests, and riverbanks affect livelihoods and our ability to mitigate impact of climate change. This therefore calls for more efforts in ensuring that these resources are sustainably managed and utilized for the present and future generations. Well-managed wetlands, riverbanks, and forests make communities resilient to extreme weather events and disasters such as prolonged drought, famine, floods, and incidences of water scarcity. There is therefore need to enforce observance and prioritize securing of the boundaries of wetlands, riverbanks, and forests. I call upon all stakeholders to ensure that legal notice number 14 of 2023 is implemented to the dot. And that book is here present with us. We have a legal notice that is meant to guide us on how to proceed with the protection of our natural resources. Protection and restoration of water catchment areas, especially those that have been degraded, removing pressure from wetlands, riverbanks, and forests by creating alternative livelihood options that are economically viable are showing promising results and should therefore be scaled up and sustained. I am happy that the theme of this year's Water and Environment Week is very instrumental, and it challenges all of us to provide solutions to the water, environment, and climate change crisis through innovative thinking and collective action in the spirit of the Ubuntu philosophy. I am because we are. Achievements of UNDP 3 targets and Uganda's development aspirations cannot be left to government alone. Rather requires the input and involvement of all stakeholders at all levels. The National Resistance Movement government, under the leadership of His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is strongly committed and dedicated to working with all our various stakeholders to achieve these aspirations and will continue giving priority to issues of water, environment, and climate change, and ensuring that adequate financial resources are mobilized towards implementation of the statutory instrument. This year's Water and Environment Week celebrations have given stakeholders a platform and opportunities to rethink existing approaches and solutions to addressing water, environment, and climate change challenges in Uganda. The government of the Republic of Uganda will study the recommendations made in this assembly for possible implementation in the delivery of its wealth creation, employment, and development agenda. I wish to appreciate the various development partners that have continued to provide technical and financial support to government through Ministry of Water and Environment in the delivery of water and environment services to the people of Uganda. I have no doubt that the outcome of this 7th Water and Environment Week will make significant and fundamental contributions to enabling Uganda attain the National Development Plan 3 targets related to water and environment. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen in your respective capacities. Finally, and very finally, by virtue of the authority entrusted upon me, it is now my honor and privilege to declare the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week formally and officially closed. Signed, Rukia Nakadama, 3rd Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, and I therefore discharge you with the grace of God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. For God and my country.
Can we get the table here, please? We are going. Let the Nile Run play. Can we get the table? Ayen, where are you going? I need you here. The winners of the debate, our development partners, the senior presidential advisor, together with the chief guest. I think we come here and we cut this cake, and that will mark the end. And those of you who have not signed on that memorabilia, you also take the opportunity and go and sign. So, the winners of the debates, can you please come? Ayen, can you come? All our development partners, please come. And the honors of the 3 days. Forestry, meteorology, and water. Come and we cut this cake. So are we all here? Yes, yes, winners. Turn so that they... No, turn the other way around.
Must be the other way.
So that, yeah. Okay, I'm going to count from 7. 7. First remove these ones here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Those are for the 7 past Water and Environment Weeks. Okay? Please, cut and serve. Those who have not signed the memorabilia, you could sign. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me to give a big applause to our Permanent Secretary, Minister of Water and Environment, who has represented the Minister. Let's also give a big applause to our guest of honor, the youngest Cabinet Minister. So for the youth, I think you have heard. Yes. So we have a cocktail, ladies and gentlemen. We want to celebrate. So don't go away. We want to celebrate so that we can know really that we have done a good job. So let's start with the cake. So we are going to enjoy the cake first, and then we have a cocktail down there. So otherwise, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for making the 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week what has been. It has been because of your power that we have made it a success. We want to request you to continue with us as we prepare for the 8th Uganda Water and Environment Week. Thank you very much. We want to recognize our elders, the people who have retired from the sector. Thank you very much. You are here joining us. The youth, remember what the Chief Guest has mentioned. The future is in your hands. New members of Parliament will come from you. Ministers will come from you. Can I also use this opportunity to thank the team at the Water Resources Institute? Let's give them a big applause. Gwendolyn and the team, thank you very much for the good work. Again, the National Organizing Committee and all of you that have made it. Can we now, I think we need to have the national anthem. We need to have the national anthem. We wanted to have the national anthem, closing anthems, and we had the band. I don't know whether the band is ready. Reverse order. So can we pray the team there? Reverse order. Yes. Let's stand up for the national anthem, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, it's okay. We have the anthems. So stand up for the national anthems.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Ushers, can you read us the cocktail? Exhibitions are still down there. Take time and visit. Otherwise, thank you very much and wish you all the best until we meet next year.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. UBC, inspiring Uganda.